David sat in his car in the office parking lot for 20 minutes every morning. Not because he was early. Because he was dreading walking through those doors. He'd hit snooze 4 times. Scrolled his phone in bed for an hour. Grabbed fast food on the way. And now he sat there, coffee getting cold, feeling like he was watching his life happen to someone else. He was 29 years old and felt 50, tired all the time. Gaining weight. No energy for anything after work. His girlfriend asked if he wanted to go hiking on Saturday. He said yes, but already knew he'd cancel. He always canceled. The worst part wasn't the tiredness or the weight or the canceled plans. It was the feeling that he had no control. Like he was a passenger in his own life. Wake up tired. Work. Come home exhausted. Watch TV. Sleep badly. Repeat. He tried fixing it. Of course he tried. Bought a gym membership in January like everyone else. Went twice. Downloaded a meditation app. Used it once. Bought a book about morning routines. Never opened it. Tried meal prepping on Sunday. Lasted 1 week. Every Monday was the same conversation with himself. This week will be different. This week I'll wake up early, eat right, exercise, be productive. By Wednesday he was back to old patterns. By Friday he'd given up completely. The breaking point came on a Tuesday in March. He had a doctor's appointment for a routine checkup. His doctor looked at his test results and didn't sugarcoat it. Blood pressure too high. Weight up 15 pounds from last year. Vitamin D deficiency. Poor sleep markers. The doctor said if he kept going like this, he was looking at serious health problems by 40. David left that appointment and sat in his car. Not the office parking lot this time. The medical center parking lot. And something clicked, not in a dramatic movie way. More like a quiet realization. He'd been trying to change everything and changing nothing. He'd been waiting to feel motivated. Motivation never came. That night he did something different. He didn't make a list of 10 things to change. He didn't promise himself he'd transform his entire life starting tomorrow. He did one thing. One tiny thing. He set his phone alarm for 6 a.m. and put the phone across the room. Not on his nightstand. Across the room. So he'd have to physically get out of bed to turn it off. That's it. That was the habit. Getting out of bed when the alarm went off. The first morning, he turned off the alarm and got right back in bed. Failed immediately. Day 2, same thing. Day 3, he stayed up. Stood there in his bedroom at 6 a.m., half awake, wondering what he was supposed to do now. He walked to the kitchen. Drank some water. Felt ridiculous. But he was awake. Day 4, he was up at 6. Made coffee. Sat on his couch in the quiet. No TV. No phone. Just coffee and silence. It felt strange. His apartment was never quiet. There was always noise. Always something pulling his attention. But at 6 a.m., nothing was pulling him anywhere. He had time that belonged to nobody but him. By day 7, something unexpected happened. He woke up at 5:55. Before the alarm, his body was adjusting. That morning, instead of just sitting with coffee, he did 10 push-ups. Not because he had a plan. Because he had 15 extra minutes and thought why not. 10 push-ups felt pathetic. He used to do 50 in high school. But he did them. And it felt good to do something instead of just thinking about doing something. Week 2, the push-ups became automatic. 10 every morning. Some days he did 15. One day he did 30. But 10 was the baseline. The agreement he made with himself. Show up and do 10. The number didn't matter. Showing up mattered. Week 3, he noticed something. He had energy in the morning. Actual energy. Not caffeine energy. Real energy. So he used it. Started making breakfast instead of grabbing fast food. Nothing fancy. Eggs and toast. But he made it. Sat down and ate it. No phone. No TV. Just breakfast. His girlfriend noticed first. Asked him what was different. He said nothing's different. But something was different. He wasn't canceling plans. He wasn't exhausted by noon. He wasn't sitting in parking lots, dreading his day. Month 2, the changes compounded. He was waking up at 6 without an alarm. Doing push-ups and sit-ups. Making breakfast. Getting to work early. Had 2 hours of productive work done before his coworkers showed up. Left the office at 5 instead of 6 because he wasn't wasting the morning anymore. His evenings opened up, had time to cook dinner, time to read, time to actually talk to his girlfriend without falling asleep on the couch. She said it felt like he was present again, like he'd come back from somewhere. Month 3, he added a short walk after dinner. 20 minutes. Nothing intense. Just walking around the neighborhood. His girlfriend joined him most nights. They talked more on those walks than they had in the previous 6 months combined. The weight started coming off. Not dramatically. Not 10 pounds in 2 weeks like the crash diets promised. 2 pounds 1 month. 3 pounds the next. Slow. Steady. Sustainable. Month 6, he went back to the doctor. Blood pressure normal. Weight down 12 pounds. The doctor asked what he changed. David said, I wake up early. The doctor looked confused. That's it? David said that's how it started. But here's what really changed. It wasn't the weight or the blood pressure or the energy. It was the proof. Proof that he could decide to do something and actually do it. Proof that he wasn't stuck. Proof that small actions compound into big changes. He'd spent years thinking he needed massive motivation to make massive changes. He needed to feel ready, feel inspired, feel like a different person. He was wrong. He didn't need to feel anything. He needed to do one small thing consistently. The feelings followed the action, not the other way around. The habit wasn't complicated. It wasn't some secret productivity hack. It was just getting out of bed when the alarm went off. But that one habit created space. Space to make breakfast. Space to exercise. Space to think. And in that space, other good habits grew. A year later, David is unrecognizable. Not because he looks completely different, because he lives completely differently. Still wakes up at 6. Still does push-ups. Still makes breakfast. But now he runs 3 times a week. Reads 20 pages every morning. Meal preps on Sunday. Goes to bed at 10. Has energy for weekend plans. His coworkers ask him how he did it. He tells them the same thing every time. I stopped trying to change everything and changed one thing. I got out of bed when the alarm went off. Everything else built from there. They usually look disappointed. They want a complicated answer. A special program. A secret method. Getting out of bed doesn't sound impressive. It sounds too simple. But simple works. Simple is repeatable. Simple builds momentum. Here's what David learned. Most people fail at building new habits because they start too big. They want to overhaul their entire life on Monday. By Friday they're exhausted and quit. David didn't overhaul anything. He adjusted one thing. And that one thing created a ripple effect. The lesson isn't wake up early. Plenty of successful people sleep until 9. The lesson is this. Pick one habit. Make it so small you can't fail. Do it every single day. Don't add anything else until that habit becomes automatic. Until you do it without thinking. That takes 30 days minimum. Usually 60. Sometimes 90. For David, it was getting out of bed. For you, it might be different. Might be drinking water first thing. Might be making your bed. Might be putting your phone away during dinner. Doesn't matter what it is. Matters that you do it. Every day. No excuses. No negotiation. Start with something so easy it feels ridiculous. That's the point. You're not trying to transform overnight. You're building the skill of keeping promises to yourself. That's the real habit. Everything else comes from that. David's life changed because he proved to himself he could change. The first change was tiny, but it was real. And real change, even tiny real change, builds confidence. Confidence builds momentum. Momentum builds transformation. If you take one thing from this story, take this. Your life won't change when you feel motivated. It'll change when you decide to act. Decide tonight. Pick one small habit. Set yourself up for success. Then do it tomorrow. And the day after. And the day after that. 30 days from now. You'll be different. Not because 30 days is magical. Because you'll have proof you can keep a promise to yourself. And once you have that proof, everything else becomes possible. David didn't find a secret. He found consistency. Consistency beats motivation. Consistency beats inspiration. Consistency beats feeling ready. Show up when you don't feel like it. That's where change lives. Start tomorrow. Or start tonight. Put your phone across the room. Set the alarm. When it goes off, get up. Don't think. Just move. That's day 1. Do it again day 2. And 3. And 4. By day 30, you won't recognize yourself. One habit changed everything. Not because the habit was special, because he actually did it.